Hey honey badgers, I have been trying to film videos today through a thunderstorm and it's been a little bit of a challenge. It keeps slowing down and I keep thinking, okay, I can do the next video, and then it comes in just as I'm starting to film. Thunderstorm round 2 comes in, or round 3, or whatever it's on. It's calmed down again. So I'm gonna try this and we're just gonna power through it and hopefully you can hear me because I'm just trying to get this done. So as usual, I have the crystal kits first, but this one I sort of set up in an assembly line, so I'm just going to start pushing them through. So the theme for this one is going to be, I guess we'll call them Dreamy Garden Girls. These are all girls in piles of flowers. So the couple of crystal ones I have. This one you've probably seen around a bunch. I've noticed a bunch of people in the diamond painting community have picked this one up, either in this crystal style or the full drill one. I think the full drill one, I've seen a few that are in the 30 by 30. Most of the ones I've seen in the full drill have been like the 40 by 40 size. This particular image, I felt like I would prefer it in a crystal one because, you know, the face is left alone and you can get all the glittery effect from the skirt and the wings and the flowers and all that through the crystal. So for this particular one, that was my preference, is I was going to do this one in crystal. So this is just a 30 by 30 with looks like 17 crystal colors. All right, so for this crystal train, get some very light yellow, darker yellow, pink, some more traditional yellow, some more pink, that looks like an orange, pretty vibrant green, a blue, a little bit lighter blue, and then your special shapes looks like we're getting into here. Don't think that's an AB, I think that's just a regular red, and then a faceted yellow. Oops, hold on, no, I thought I missed one. Some pearlescent half domes, some faceted blue half domes, some teardrop ones in the faceted blue, some pink ABs, some standard AB, no, these are not ABs, these are just pink, but some of those, and then some in the yellow. So that's that fairy. I think this next one is another one I've seen maybe in a full drill as well, but I think this was another one that I decided I would prefer this particular style in a crystal better. So that's what I did. Standard toolkit. So this one's pretty similar, 30 by 30. And this one looks like it's 12 colors, 12, 13 colors, something like that. So she looks like she's in kind of like the princess style gown with the hair crown. And this one, you're not going to do anything to the back. It's just going to be her hair crown, the necklace, and the dress, and then some jewelry down here. All right, got some pink ABs. Some that also looks like it's an AB, but a darker pink. This is not an AB, this is just a really nice green. Some yellow faceted ones, pink faceted ones, some clear crystal. That's sort of that champagne color crystal. Some pink, some brown. That looks like a light green. That's kind of like a teal blue-green color. Some light yellow, and then some more clear crystal. So, yeah. Oh, okay. This other one I thought was a clear crystal. I think this is actually a light gray. And so I was like, why do they have them in two different ones? So yeah, that one looks more like a light gray, and then this one is a clear crystal. So that's that one. So I think those are the only two crystal kits I have in this one. And then I have this random one that, since I was doing flower garden designs, I thought I would throw this one in. It's not actually a woman, but it's got sort of a feminine face, and It's a little bit more disturbing in person than it looked online. Online, for some reason, the image looked cute. In person, I was like, oh God. It's still kind of cute, but it's a lot. Just very happy. For some reason, when I looked at the image online, it looked a lot more subdued. In person, it's just very in your face happy. I don't know if maybe because the yellow in person looks a lot stronger and just up in there. I still kind of like it. It's just, I don't know, when I first opened it, I was like, oh wow. Because it's a very happy daffodil. Standard toolkit. But since I was doing these garden ones, I figured I would throw it into this one. If you happen to see this one and you're curious what the image looks like, here you go. So 30 by 40, 24 colors in this one. A lot of green, a lot of yellow. Some oranges for the very happy face. Some blues for the sky. Yeah, that's that one. Drop field is actually really nice. I don't see any issue on the drip field really. So yeah, as long as you're not startled by the face, this one is actually really cute and nicely done. So there's that one. And then I got one of the big braid styles. I think I've seen about maybe 4 different styles in this so far. I think I've seen like a bright red head, maybe 4 or 5 actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think I've seen like a bright red head. I think I've seen a blonde, one with gray hair, and then I think I've even seen an African American one, I think. This is the only one I've gotten out of that series so far, mainly because in each of them, the little animals on the side, I'm a little bit iffy about how the animals turn out. And this one seemed to have the clearest look on the little side animals. Also, I liked the way the braid was framed on this one the best. So this is the one I ended up going with. So 40 by 40, 24 colors. I thought the face was really nicely done. I thought there was a really nice detail on the braid without being like a lot. I thought there was really nice shading on the wings, and I liked that the dress was sort of like a orangish red color. Oh, just like this one appealed to me the most. So of the 24 colors, this is going to be your palette. A lot of blues and greens and, you know, naturally earth tones. She's sitting next to a waterfall. So yeah, I don't know if I'll do too many ABs in this one. Maybe in the water. I tend to put at least a little bit of AB in the water. Maybe I have some pink ABs, so maybe just a few pink ABs in the wings and maybe a touch in the flower crown. But really, that's about all I do on this one, I think. I don't know. Not too much though. I kind of like it as is. But that's her. Alright, and then I got, okay, I don't know if I still had the wrapping on this one. This really pretty girl. Little blonde looking angel type character. Very bright, sort of almost amberish eyes, and then some that white blonde hair. And then it's very, you can faintly see the outline of the wings back here, and then the halo in the back. So yeah, this is another one I probably wouldn't mess with too much as far as ABs, maybe just a little bit in the wings and somewhere up in here, probably the very top of the light halo maybe. But other than that, probably wouldn't mess with it too much. But yeah, I just liked the real sweet look of this. So 35 by 35. That's what the canvas says it is. I'd say the drill field is actually just a 30 by 30. And even for a 30 by 30 drill field, that looks a little bit small. But like I said, I don't do the tape measure thing. For me, as long as the image looks relatively clear, I'm not a stickler about a centimeter here or there. But overall, this one has 20 colors, a lot of yellow, a lot of brown, a little bit of green for the leafing in here. As far as like, you'd think there would be some stronger white up in here, but it looks like it's just going to be maybe that color. So I don't know about that. That I might change out and make it that brighter white like it actually looks on the drill field. I might use this color still for, it looks like it's the same color down in here, and down here that lighter look makes a little bit more sense, but up here, I don't know, I just like the contrast between that soft yellow and then like that bright white bit. So I may go back in there with some 3856 or some 5200 even, and maybe just do a little bit of those, like at least just the front part of the strands there in some brighter white, at least mix it in somehow. But yeah, there's that one. This next one I believe has some ABs in it that came with the kit, because I filmed, and it by the time you're watching this one it should be filmed, I believe, maybe. I filmed, I think it's in, actually it's in the Disney Princess one, I think. I mentioned that I had ordered a few canvases from this Shiny Paw. I think it's the same company. They have the same type of logo, so I'm pretty sure it's the same company. Or at least a sister company or something. But anytime I see this, it tends to be a company that throws in ABs into their kits, which I think is why I got this one. Let me double check. Yeah, it says down here on the canvas, 24 colors including 2 ABs. So let me open this up and see what it is. You can probably tell on the camera. Probably not going to get a lot of face detail, but it's supposed to have like a sort of misty, dreamy quality to it, so you don't need a lot of face detail. But yeah, it's supposed to be like a bright, sunny fairy sitting on a swing over a, looks like a lily pond or something. But actually there's a inventory sheet in here, so I can give you a little bit better idea of what the image looks like. So yeah, something like that. So yeah, 24 colors altogether. It says there's supposed to be 2 ABs in here, so we'll take a look. So your standard colors, 939. It's orange. It's probably just gonna be a lot of orange, so give me just a second. I don't think the standard colors are gonna be that exciting, just a bunch of yellow and orange probably. So I'll give you a quick look at those. Some browns for the shadowing. Some bunch of dark brown. There's one AB. So you get a yellow AB. Oh, there are 2 right there. So you get a little bit of yellow AB and a little bit of white AB. So as far as AB goes, I mean, it is only a 30 by 40, but it's a little bit underwhelming. But it is nice that it's in there. But yeah, those are your ABs. White AB, yellow AB, and then your other colors are this. Oops, and then a few more. Some dark blue. Some standard yellow. A little bit darker yellow. Some brown. Really pale yellow. And then some more brown. So that's your palette for this one. Alright, so that's that one. So the next one I got, I don't know that it's directly meant to represent it, but this one sort of reminded me of the, I think they're called Japanese No dramas, N-O-H, where they have like the white masks. This is what that kind of reminded me of. And I'm not entirely sure. I think this might be a Margaret Morales image, or it's at least done in the style of her. because it looks pretty similar to some of the stuff I've seen Margaret Morales do, but I don't know off the top of my head if this is directly one of hers. I'll have to look it up later, but comes with a standard toolkit with some baggies. This one's 30 by 40 with 26 colors. But yeah, that's the mask I was referring to. That sort of reminded me of a no mask. I don't know if no masks are actually in the shape of something. I've seen them to where they're just like a white mask, like circular white mask. I don't know if they actually have ears and stuff on them. I don't know. But it just reminded me of that. But overall, I liked the style and the color combinations here. So, oh, that's interesting. There's like a little styrofoam tubing piece in there, which I haven't seen done before. Yeah, I guess that's to hold its shape a little bit. That's interesting. Anyway, this is your color palette here. So kind of in that fall, autumn type spectrum. So there's that one. And then I got, it's like a fairy angel, but like in this kind of dark angel style, I guess. Her leggings are a little bit drooped out, and she's sitting on a, well, there's roses over here, but this over here almost reminds me of like a crabapple tree. So I'm not quite sure what kind of tree she's sitting in, but she's got like a cabbage rose up here and some pinkish brown wings over here, and she's got some pink highlights down at the bottom of her hair. Give you an idea there. Really cute though. So yeah, I liked the, I kind of like the ones that are a little bit like edgy fairy look. So that's your color palette for this one. This one's a 30 by 30. So your drill fill is a 25 by 25, but since it's not an overly complicated image, I figured that was big enough. Yeah, if you like yourself a darker palette, this one might be for you. 20 colors all together. Yeah. All right. Moving right along. This one, kind of in that geisha style with the woman sleeping in a pile of flowers. I've done a few in these styles where they're, you know, sleeping in a pile of flowers. I don't know, for some reason that appeals to me. A lot of pink in this palette, so if you see a lot of my past videos where it's a lot of brown and yellow and dark blue and stuff, here you go. I'm working on a pink palette at some point. I do them from time to time. Pre-packed, 30 by 40, 20 colors all together. Drill fill doesn't look too bad. Maybe a little bit grainy in spots, but workable. I think it's supposed to have sort of that watery look to it anyway, so it doesn't really surprise me that it's printed a little bit light. Yeah, that's her. All right, and then we've got, I think this is a girl in a, going a little bit off, not off topic, but a little bit off trend, I guess. Still flower girl, but sitting in a tub. So yeah, she's been having a day. She just needs to take some time for herself, you know, and have a little bit of time just in a big old flower tub. She just needs a little bit of quiet right now, guys. 30 by 40, 22 colors all together. I think the flowers are meant to be kind of falling in the background a little bit because there's a few spots in the background where you can see there are some other colors. So I think overall it's supposed to give the effect that these are all kind of falling down around her. But yeah, there's an idea. Girl sitting in a tub of flowers. Just taking a damn minute. standard toolkit. So your palette for this is actually really nice. It's not overly bright, but not super dark. It's just really nice. Kind of a quiet, sort of soft tone palette. Yeah. There's her. Only a couple more left to go. I think this is another one that might have some ABs with it, I believe. I think this is also another Sleeping Girl. Yep. All right. Yeah, this is another one by that Shiny Paw company. So I'm guessing if you see that logo, probably going to get a kit with some ABs. Standard toolkit. Oh, okay. I was going to say it doesn't come with wax though, but it does. It's just tucked in the back. All right. I don't know how well this is going to come through on camera. Yeah, well, you can see her a little bit. It's pretty much all pink with like a little bit of lavender tone mixed in, but not much. But I don't know. This one just kind of caught my curiosity. And then when it said it had ABs in it, I was like, that could come out pretty cool, actually. I was kind of thinking it might be, when you got done with it, it might have that sort of like glossy 80s fantasy look to it almost. Like the nostalgic 80s look, retro vibe on it when you're using all the colors and the emotion and stuff. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit, with like a tinge of, I don't know, like 90s Sailor Moon thrown in somewhere in there. Because it's a little bit hard to see her, but she's got, I think this is supposed to maybe be part of her gown down here. Oh, okay. This one actually does come with a inventory sheet, so I can show you the actual picture, because I just noticed there's no, well, there is one tiny one down here, but you're not going to be able to see anything in that, since this is all basically pinked out. But yeah, you can kind of see a lot of it is her gown, and then she's got like flowers and silks and stuff around her, sleeping in this pile of stuff. So yeah, that's why I thought with the ABs it could be fun. It's just really hard to see a lot of the detail in this just with the way it's designed. So let's get into this one. Oh, I already spotted one of the ABs. So I'll just go through and give you an idea of the pinks you're working with, because it's not going to veer much from that palette. I did spot one, let's see. Okay, 2 ABs. So you get $38.65 for the white. So your pink palette. So if pink is your jam, this is your canvas for sure. All right, and then we get into the purple ones. So a little bit of light pink verging on lavender, and then you get into more traditional purple colors, which are going to be a little bit on the edges of her skirt and in the borders down in here. And then you get some dark purple for the very edges. And then that purple. And then what is this? This one's all folded up. Okay. There's some like purplish gray tone in there. Okay, and then your 2 ABs are a really pretty light pink AB. And then also a really pretty purple AB. So yeah, pretty happy with this one. I'll definitely have to save it for when I'm in a mood to do drowning in pink. Because it's not typically one of my normal color palettes, but I'm not scared to do it. Alright, let me put this all back together so I don't confuse myself later. And then I got one more that's a larger canvas, so I figured I'd put it at the end here. This is a 40 by 40. And this one is, I don't know, she looked, I couldn't tell for sure, but she kind of looked a little bit like, I don't know, Ukrainian style to me maybe. Flower crown with some traditional housing in the back, standard toolkit. But mainly I was drawn to this because I liked that she's in this field that looks like kind of like hollyhocks and snapdragons and stuff. And it was flowers that I don't see used a lot in a lot of diamond painting kits. And hollyhocks were a flower that I always grew up around because it was one of my mom's favorites. Not her very favorite flower. Her very favorite flower was chrysanthemums, but hollyhocks were pretty big to her too, and snapdragons. So those were ones that we always had in the garden because my mom couldn't grow anything, but she really liked looking at it. And when she found out I was pretty good at gardening from a very early age, she just started giving me a list of stuff she wanted to see outside and said, hey, can you try to grow this? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I just started putting seeds in the ground from a really early age. And she ended up getting a flower garden. And she was always like, look at you go. So that's kind of what that always reminds me of when I see a bunch of hollyhocks and snapdragons and stuff. It just makes me think of her. And also, this is also kind of how she had her hair a lot of times, is that just like this color and then just like kind of hanging down. So yeah, there was a lot to this, even though my mom wasn't, you know, this style as far as like, she wasn't Ukrainian, she wasn't Slavic, anything like that. My mom comes from a very Irish Danish family, but she still kind of had that look a little bit. So I don't know, there's elements to this that reminded me of her. So that's why I ended up being drawn to this one. But yeah, 40 by 40 with 24 colors. Really nice color palette on this one. A lot of pretty greens, a lot of really nice pinks. I really like that blue there. Yeah, so I'm excited for this one. All right. And that concludes all of my Dreamy Garden Girls for this round. Thankfully, the sound of the thunder cooperated and wasn't too loud, hopefully, so I don't have too much trouble editing. I do like the sound when I'm just hanging out at the house, but when I'm actually filming something, I'm always hoping it's not too loud so you guys can actually hear me. So that's what I got for now, and we will talk soon. Bye, guys.